Hey guys, what's up? We got some spoilers in regards to the upcoming Predator movie, Predator Badlands, in which they go more in detail about the development of a Predator language that is going to be present into the movie. And I already saw some people arguing over this and saying that this is going to cause a big humanization of the Predators, which I like to a certain extent. At one point, I think it's cool, but I don't want them to be too humanized, you know. There have been attempts of trying to humanize predators. I think the worst ones will be in the novels, which we had predators talk and behave like they are talking and just doing things like they're like normal humans, you know. So I think it's a very sensitive topic in how they approach this. Like I don't want to see a predator talking in English, like having like a normal conversation with a human, like it's very tricky. I mean, they're talking about a Preto language, so I assume they're not going to be speaking English. He might have like a different sort of communication by signs, or I don't know. Let's read a little bit over this. The early official details about Preto Balance was that the film would feature a predator as one of the protagonists of the stories. A predator. I mean, when they say it would feature a predator, it makes it seem that maybe there is going to be more than one, but I think it's just going to be one from the synopsis. It's gonna be one predator teaming up with the blondie to fight something else, from the looks of it. This presented a problem for Dan and the production in regards to developing the predator culture further and how they communicate. I mean, they can even speak English, so I'm sure they have like the way that they growl and just roar. I mean, their normal language, which probably we wouldn't be able to replicate and understand well. I assume the predators can just talk to each other like using their mouth, just like humans. That's one of the cool things of the movie, is that outside of the very brief glimpse into other films, we are on Yautja Prime. Wait. They're gonna start this on the Predator home planet. What is known as Yautja Prime mainly from the extended universe stuff. Wait a minute. Is he saying that the movie is gonna be set on the Predator home planet, the one that we saw in AVPR, which I'm not sure if it's really they still like canon or not, but I mean probably not. But anyway, outside of the other films, I mean it was one film. It wasn't other films. It was just AVPR, which they showed like what was supposed to be like the Predator home planet. Even though it wasn't set, it could have been a colony, but the director said that it was implied, they were trying to imply that it was supposed to be the Predator's home planet. There's a lot in this movie that is more from the extended universe than it is from things that are properly in the movie. I should mention the language. I mean, the extended universe, the novels, the games, comics, they have some good stuff, but they also have a lot of bad stuff, like a lot of stuff that they went too much into a direction which the Predators kind of like stopped being Predators, and they just seem like a generic space monster or space bad guys. I don't know. We insanely decided to really treat that property and work with. We reached out to the guy who does the Navi language in Avatar, who was very occupied, and recommended his mentee. Not sure how I feel about this. We did the way that for Lord of the Rings you would do Elvish. For Game of Thrones you do Dothraki. I mean, if the Predator is like talking like in his language, I think that we saw a little bit of that in the Predator. With the upgrade, would just make noises in the Predator language, and we would have like some sort of subtitles, right? So it's not like the first thing, but still, like it feels like because they want to have the communication between the Predator and the human character, it's gonna have to be a little more extended. As we discovered with him being language expert, all this stuff, and frankly actually working with the Predator special effect of Alec Gillis. Is this the guy from ADI? Ah man, I don't like ADI for making Predators. I mean, comparing to Stan Winston, like I mean they did a good job with Wolf for the most part. I mean with the mask on, with the mask off, the mandibles are just all over the place. I mean this guy they just can't make the mandibles right. And like with the Pharaoh they just make like the most top tier mass of all time. All this stuff that you have seen in other Predator movies is complete garbage. There's no sense of it. What? Working? I was with him being a language aspect. All this stuff that you have seen in other Predator movies completely. What is supposed to be completely garbage about the other Predator movies? about language. I mean, we saw predators make their own noises, and some of them have like mimicked human words, but there's no sense of it. People in the end try to make sense of it, but none of it made it with intention. I mean, is he talking about the letters or the language? Because I mean, it's a little different. I mean, people try to make like the alphabet of the predators using their like the red symbols, but so we decided to make it with intention, and we completely developed the language. So everything they're speaking has actual rules and structure and all this. So they made a new language, like in Lord of the Rings. I mean, Tolkien just made a new complete language of the Elvish. I mean, that's actually good work. I'm sure like Predators need some sort of language. I think the only thing that I worry about is if this can make them get too humanized. Like I want the Predator to still feel like a outside alien creature, which like there's like a mystery to it. If it is too human, it's like it loses the mystery on it, you know. And written as well as verbal. Very early on, we did exploration, concept art exploration. What Yautja could be. I'm not a big fan of the Yautja name, but whatever. It kind of like got stuck into the franchise. I wanted to be very careful in making this, that I do not fall into trap that is making something that is more lore focused and story focused. I think a lot of times when people do more in the franchise, there is a tendency to really go whole hog into the Senate trading committees and whatever. I thought we should just have a little sliver of that, but not let the movie be like, there could be some expectation when people hear the premise that the movie is going to be all about the inner workings of the Yautja culture, and if that's not, we want it still make it feel general, feel very specific. I mean, I'm curious what they mean by this. All about the inner workings of how are they touching the Yautja culture? Because like they don't really need to try to explain everything that goes in Yautja's the fucking Yautja Predator civilization. You know, I mean, that's what the expanded universe is for. I mean, I think the movie should try to focus more on the storyline that is trying to talk about. You know, just this Predator and whatever he's trying to do within the planet that he's on. But okay, really, what it is? It's an inversion of the premise of now. Wait, it's an inversion of the premise of now the Predator is on a planet. He's going to be hunted by tanks and has to use his guild to figure it out. While we are writing, we're doing concept art and things like that to figure out the world building of it all. But if he's getting hunted by something, by things like he's like in an alien planet and he's like the prey now. They're like alien creatures that are like after him, after the Predator. Then it cannot be the Predator home planet and they're talking about like we are in Yautja Prime. I mean, Predators are not gonna be like prey on their own home planet, their home planet, you know. And why is there gonna be a human there? I mean, the human character that is gonna be played by Elle Fanning, he cannot be like living in Yautja Prime. It doesn't make sense. So I don't know. I'm still like being kind of like careful in how I process all of this. I mean, this stuff just mostly just got me a little bit more confused rather than like am I more positive about the movie? Am I more negative? I'm more curious and confused pretty much because of the way that he talked about here. It just like really made me question a little bit more in which direction they're trying to go with the movie.